When you think of a stroke, you often think of an older person, but a blood clot in the brain is something that can also affect children, especially newborns.
Monica Robbins explains in today's Medical Matters.
15-year-old James Finnerty woke April 5th with a raging headache and severe vertigo.
I felt like I was free falling, and I felt like the world was spinning at 1,000 miles an hour.
He suffered a hit to the back of the head in a rugby game that weakened a blood vessel. While lifting weights a few days later, the blood vessel tore and caused a stroke.
I was going down the tubes fast.
What happened to James is very rare. What isn't uncommon is the fact that no one realized he was having a stroke.
Because it was 25 hours before, anything was done.
Not only amongst the public are they not aware of the fact that children in fact have stroke, but even the medical fraternity still do not recognize the fact that children have stroke.
While stroke in children is still incredibly rare, kids most at risk include newborns up to a month old and children between 5 and 6. Awareness is so important because half of those kids who suffer stroke also have permanent damage. Kids who have stroke are 20% likely to have another, and James did. He sports a 5-inch scar left over from 2 brain surgeries. Contact sports are over for now, replaced by physical therapy to help him get back into the game of life with a new realization.
You don't have to be 70 to have one.
The stroke symptoms for children are similar to adults, including weakness or paralysis on one side of the body, garbled speech, unsteady walking, and worsening headache. You can find more health news on our website. Just go to WLBT.com and click on Medical Matters.
Still to come in the noon report, you may have collected bugs as a kid, but not like this. Look around Mississippi with Walt Grayson next.
Smartphones provided by C Spire Wireless.
Old cures or new treatments.
Masks that may prevent aging.
It prevents gravity setting into your face.
And want a body like this? Mark Wahlberg's trainer is here to show you how. All new. Weekdays at 3 on WLBT.
This is my Cool Smiles, the coolest place to go for your teeth on the whole planet. It's the dentist, but it's fun right when you get there. Mommy says it's easy because the people help her with grown-up stuff. Really nice people teach you about teeth, but it's not like school. That's Tyler. His mom comes back here to hold his hand.
Keeping kids happy and their teeth healthy is easy at Cool Smiles. All you have to do is call to make an appointment for you or your child.
The best part is, when you're done, you get a toy. Cool Smiles!
You have access to the great food and good times of an entire region, all in one river city. Vicksburg offers an inviting blend of cuisines and culture, from down-home comfort foods to southern gourmet specialties, with a double helping of local personality. Enjoy shopping for treasures old and new, and the non-stop excitement of riverfront casinos. Vicksburg, Mississippi is your easy-to-reach getaway. Unlock southern flavors and fun in Vicksburg, the key to the South.
If anybody can, but Josh Duran can. He got me tickled, that's why I started smiling.
You'd be tickled too with a home built by Duran Homes. If you want an owner-supervised, quality-built home built on your property with no money down and no closing costs, call Duran Homes today. You'd be tickled too.
If anybody can, Duran can. Done?
One day I went to work and felt sharp pain in my chest, and I had a heart attack. I went to Social Security and they denied me 4 times.
How can you disbelieve them when they say they're in pain? They went to work every day for so many years.
Everywhere I went, everybody turned me down, but met a green bomb. They took me right in, took me on their wing, and took care of me. The court approved my Social Security.
It's not someone else's money, it's your money that we're trying to get back for you.
It was a blessing. I'm catching up on my life now. They came to my rescue.
Walt Grayson is back home with us to take us looking around Mississippi.
And it's summertime in the South, and that means lots of bugs, and this year lots of bugs. Well, yeah.
Yes, there's so many bugs that people make a living from them, actually. There's a whole branch of science dedicated to bugs, entomology. And one of the biggest bug collections in the world is right here in Mississippi at the Entomology Museum at Mississippi State University. Just so you'll have an idea of how many bugs we're talking about in Mississippi, here's some examples for you. I think I've had nearly every one of these on my windshield at one time or another. But as far as these being all the insects in the state, far from it.
We don't know how many insect species are in Mississippi. We're finding new ones every week.
That's Richard Brown. He's the director of the Mississippi Entomological Museum, located on the campus of Mississippi State University. Some of the museum's collections on display on the second floor of the Welcome Center at Mississippi State right now. These are insects from around the world. Beautiful butterflies, moths, beetles of all sizes and colorations, some that look like jewelry. An amazing collection of the colorful and the unusual. But this is nothing compared to what's back in the entomology building in the vaults. Some very large varieties, and then some so tiny that they're smaller than the pinhead attaching them to the mounting board. And they all million plus of them, have a bunch of data printed identifying them, all the Latin stuff, as well as where and when it was collected and things like that. But the bugs are here for more than looks. They're used extensively in research, not only here in Mississippi, but some 400 collections are on loan to other researchers around the world right now. And they're used, among other things, to help identify insects in the wild. If an invasive insect has arrived in the U.S., it needs to have a name in order to be quarantined. And here's where samples are sent and compared and identified. You can do this, too, if you have a pest bugging you and you don't know what it is. Get it to the entomology lab and then give them a little while to look it up. And the process to get samples here is getting easier.
I've gotten them on Scotch tape that have been stamped flat, but ideally they're enclosed in a container to where they don't get mashed. Or, alternatively, you can find our museum very easily by Googling Entomology Museum, and then there are directions for submitting specimens or digital photographs.
I think I'll just submit a snapshot of my windshield after my next night trip out around Mississippi some summer evening. That should keep them busy for a while. It's a mosquito, or it's a bug, or it's a spider. That's my extent of entomology. So.
All right, thanks, Walt.
We'll be right back.